As we had last left it off, the party has split up in order to search for more allies to join them in their civil war against King Turiel and his right-hand man, Edgar Talion, head of the Order of Knights. Verity, Arrabella, and Rennas answer the summons of one Timothy Tipper in the headquarters out in the far lands of the frontier. You're escorted to the hideout by a dragonborn known as Denandenin. From there, Arrabella met an old friend, had a good chat, and then from there you were ushered to inside the Tipper stronghold, something of a mini community of its own, surviving out in the desert. You met with Timothy Tipper, an old, tired man who clearly knew more than he let on. He treated this entire situation as a business transaction. Whoever paid the Tippers the highest, or would be most beneficial for them, would be those who sided with. He even considered siding with the king and Edgar, despite the fact that they betrayed him in the past and the reasons why they got kicked out of the capital. He was willing to let bygones be bygones, it's just that this time he wouldn't trust them, and he'd be on guard from them. However, he'd be more than happy to offer his people for you guys, under the assumption that you find him something for him called the Luckstone. He believes it is hidden away in the lost spawning pit of Argoness invasion from many years ago. He suggested that if you wanted to start on this regard, best to pay a visit to the frontier itself, as the spawning pit would be something of high importance to the leaders of that particular city. It'd be a good way to get in bed with them. Meanwhile, Korgrin, Otti, and Russ have made their way to Korgrin's old hometown of Filiderza. Unfortunately, our session there quite short, unable to do much. Well, we're not able to do as much as we wanted with Korgrin being absent. Otti and Russ had a few drinks with some of the guards just to get involved with culture. Korgrin, I had you split off just to go and see the Bravebeard house, just to make sure, just to check in on it, see what it's like. When you got there, your childhood home, with all those memories, was a shell of its former self. The area you walked into, unfortunately, was heavily damaged. They are currently repairing a good amount of it, but they seem to be focusing on areas with higher populations. Your particular street appears to have been hit one of the hardest, and many houses were torn down. You don't have a front door anymore. The interior of your home had been completely ransacked. Chairs split apart, tables cracked, walls cracked, books torn apart. Just looks like a bomb went off in there. Interestingly enough, all photos containing you and your mother, or, well, not photos, but all portraits containing you and your mother and any memorabilia of them have been taken. Portraits depicting your father have been, they remain, but they're not in any usable state from now on. You get the feeling, or just investigating the area, that your father put up a fight, judging by the splattered bits of dried blood on the walls and on the ceilings, and a discarded warhammer in the kitchen. However, there was no evidence that anybody died in here, which can only lead you to believe that someone was dragged away. Speaking with some of the locals, he wasn't the only one. But when the humans reached this street, and they took everybody on this street, that was the time where the forces began to fall backwards. Nobody knows why this is. Maybe the prevailing theory is that they had overextended their lines and were bound to collapse and so had to retreat. Others say they found what they were looking for, but whatever that is, they don't know.
With that, obviously the trade court is there.
Yeah.
To get from the house, do you go through like a tunnel system there? Like that's
There is a
not
multiple tunnel section. To be fair, underneath, I'd say that area there is effectively a large furnace-like area, kind of like the imposing entrance into Dares, and loads of dwarven statues holding up hammers and anvils and lit furnaces, all for decorational purposes, meant to show a statement of dwarven power and sustainability.
Fair enough. I'd like to take my father's warhammer, at least.
Yep. It's got a little bit of dry blood on it, a fine layer of dust on it. But beyond that, it's just a warhammer, really. No special properties.
No. Sentimental. Certainly kind of hold it close and just kind of mutter to myself, just along the lines of, I'm coming for you, Dad. Not much longer now. Stow it away. Is there anything, like, should I bother investigating this area? Is there anything that... I wouldn't have thought my parents to be particularly secretive, but at the same time, Korgrin's learned better since leaving this very, very same household.
He's met me and trusted no one.
Partly. Realised how expensive it is to bring people back to life.
I'll let you know now that there were some secret compartments inside your house that you did not know had existed, but they had been ransacked and taken.
I'd say, is it worth looking for more? But there's potentially the chance that they've all been.
To be fair, you spent a good hour in this particular area before guards came along and asked to escort you to the Vizier's prime reach, as you had been summoned by the Vizier himself.
Word travels fast. Lead on.
Travel very fast. They know. I mean, everybody in this bloody place knows who you are now. So.
Fair. Then yeah, I guess that kind of leaves off where the last video did. Me outside the Vizier's. What was it? The Vizier's prime reach.
That's right. And I also had Korgrin send words to Otti and Russ for them to meet you there as well. So, the Vizier's prime reach is a overbearing structure of fire, like fire furnace towers. There is. One could mistake it to be on top of an active volcano, but it is in fact just molten metal pouring out of the very tops of the towers itself to form a very intricate spiral around itself. It's more of an art display than anything else. That same molten metal then flows downwards into the viaducts of that eventually they go underneath the city and towards the Platinum Forges. There are about 3 levels to the Vizier's prime reach, and it is by far the biggest building in all of Fili-Durzan. It houses multiple noble families on a rent-a-room basis sort of thing.
Airbnb.
So rent a room So rent a room or live in the Vizier's prime reach is considered a higher honour than having the grandest mansion elsewhere in the city, as it's a statement to all in Fili-Durzan that the Vizier trusts you enough to bring you into his home and keep you there. Many dwarves go their entire lives trying to earn the right, but never succeed. Those who are there because the Vizier has personally selected them to be there. You find yourself standing with an honor guard in the main entrance, the foyer of the Prime Reach. A great decorations of purple velvet, red drapes, and just fire, like large but controlled fires etching around the walls, on the ceilings. Some of it even sort of dancing with each other to sort of go back and forth, like think, do you know those old electrical globes where if you put your fingers on them, like it zaps out towards your fingers, but you never actually get zapped? Think of it like that, but with flames and without any glass. It's controlled burst that just gives that neon red effect, really. After waiting for a good 20 minutes, Korgrin, the front doors open up again, and you see Russ and Otti enter in with an honor guard of their own.
As they enter, Korgrin will probably still be holding the hammer, and that kind of stirs him out of it. Stow it away and just go there. Have a good time in Vili-Durzan.
Sure. All okay with you?
As okay as it can be when you revisit the place you grew up in and see it torn down to ashes, but I feel like Otti is unfortunately rather intimate with that, as are the rest.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't realize that you'd faced quite such a challenging time.
It's all right. Kind of expected it. You know, I've known for a while that they came here. We met Lungdon in Jaris Jakai. Unfortunately, it's not been recent news. It's old news, but festering wound.
Still more painful to see it in person, I imagine.
Oh, certainly no small amount of tears were shed. But...
Well, we're here for you now. We're here together for whatever reason we've been summoned, and well, I'm sure you'll do great. But we're here to support you.
Probably something to do with that army outside, I'd wager. But I will.
I'm aware. I believe there were a few things to discuss.
Hi. Let's grace his stone father liege with our presence, shall we?
Yes.
The guards nod to each other and says, "Please follow us by the height of the All-Father. Your Vizier awaits you."
Thank you.
And so with that, you are escorted further into the Prime Reach, up several layers, always following... Dwarves are shorter people, yet the structures they build are just almost cartoonishly big. They're... A joke from the outside quite often that is usually taken in poor taste from dwellers of underground is that dwarves are clearly compensating for something. To dwarves themselves, this is just... Whilst their stature might not show it, the skills of their artisans and the height of their pride is a true representation to the glory of the dwarves. Eventually, you are escorted again up to a series of spiralling stone staircases. Beneath you is a complex system maze of fire rings and lava trenches, where you can see various numbers of creatures down there, just either toiling, existing, or they're doing some sort of purpose down there. It's pretty difficult to tell. You're about 200 feet above it. But by the time you get to the top of this elegant set of stairwells, you can see ahead of you there's a long sort of conjoining area that stretches on for about 100 feet or so. And at the very end, you can see a large, like, stone chiseled throne with large amounts of banners on the outside of it.
Before we go any further, can I just quickly cast Enhance Ability on myself, Otti, and Russ?
In few of the other gods? Or subtly?
I'd ask, I suppose. Do you mind if I just cast a quick spell? And no ill intent, I assure you.
Make a persuasion roll.
Jesus.
Can I cast it first?
Bonk.
What be the manner of your spell?
Just something for a bit of courage. First time meeting the Vizier. Heard great things. Done a lot of things. Never met the king though.
If you need to take a moment to pray to God Moradin, then by all means.
Thank you. I'll turn and cast Enhance Ability on the three of us.
Okay. Right.
That is at 4th level, so we all have advantage on charisma checks.
I know. Okay. One of the guards will counterspell you.
Oh.
What, really?
Does he really? Or
No, of course not. Of course
thank
not.
fuck. I was like, Jesus.
Oh, I just like bringing that old chestnut out.
Shit, a brick.
So, you feel Moradin's
in on it all along.
warm embrace. You feel Moradin's warm embrace wash over your body. You feel his guidance, not only in your voice, but in the way you move. And you spread this guidance with Otti and Russ. And you both feel more confident in yourself. Slightly more able to be charismatic. Russ, you feel less dark, more light.
Oh.
If that makes any sense.
Instead of spicy, it's minty.
Yeah. After this moment, you continue making your way forward. The guards stop at the very cusp, at the very entrance to this large throne. Now, behind this throne is an open platform area that looks out onto pretty much the entirety of Fili-Durzen. Despite the fact it's open, there's no wind. There's just it's quite a hot air. But it's bearable, to say the least. Korgrin, you're okay. I mean, it's a little hot. It's a little hotter than it is down in the city, but this is basically the dwarven version of central heating, really. The guards give you the gesture to move on ahead, and as you do so, you approach the throne, and you can see 3 individuals standing before it. On the throne, Korgrin, you immediately recognise Vizier Regal Mithril. He has got a red gem eye in his socket for one eye, and kind of like a grizzled eye on the left. Huge, straightened brown beard, small little crown on top of his head, blackened plate armour that is adorned with all manners of gems, runes. Just the craftsmanship is absolutely sublime. To his left and on your right is your old boss, the supreme commander of the entire Fili-Durzen forces, Commander Molten Durabane. A dwarf sporting a brown mohawk that's spiked in several, kind of like a stegosaurus's kind of spine, really. Well braided brown beard that's sort of bound together in like a golden chain lock. He's got huge golden plated armor and a massive, like, golden great axe that is just sort of attached to his back at the moment. He's bound with like red tassels that sort of just sway with every time he makes even a body movement. And then onto the Regal Mithriphist's right hand and your left is somebody else whom you recognise, and somebody else who, Otti, you have seen before, albeit very briefly, Ambassador London. Russ, from your perspective, this is a shortened man with a bit of a battle helmet, large greyish brown beard. You know, a bit of a porky man, but he's got a cheerful disposition about him.
I'd also like to whisper to Korgrin briefly and be like, "You got this!" and toss him a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vizier Regal Mithriphist. What is your approach him? He stands up. And he gestures you for him to come within 20 feet of him. All of you.
Happily oblige.
Yeah, I certainly approach.
Mhm.
On reaching him, I will salute, though.
Okay. He nods in respect.
And very much stand at attention, like, unless I'm looking at my old boss and my king, I'm at attention.
Commander Martin Durabane did it about 10 seconds before he salutes you back very quickly. He says, "At ease."
Thank you, Commander Dwarven. I appreciate the gesture. Thank you.
It's good to see that the military traditions still bear fruit within.
Well, it's certainly drilled into you, and what can I say? The Dwarven military is the best military.
Good. Indeed, it is. The Vizier sort of rubs his nose a little bit, adjusts his beard. Fair days to you. I'm delighted that you have returned home, Master Korgrin. We've never met, but Ambassador Lugden here has more than notified me of your exploits, as well as a somewhat publicly broadcast exposition of your skills. I can see that the light of Moradin clearly shines within you. So, all I can say is, welcome home.
Your words mean a lot. Thank you very much, Grand Vizier. I appreciate your kindness and your warmth. It has been a hard path and a harder journey still, certainly. Thank you, London, for
And the Half-Orc. Sorry, you can continue.
I was just going to say, and thank you, London, for the the warmer introduction.
Wow, absolutely no problem at all. He smiles and nods his head. Vizier gestures towards Otti and Russ and says, "And the half-orc and the elf that stand beside you. Whilst I have heard and seen you, I do not believe we have ever met. Have you ever graced our city before?"
I have not. It's a pleasure to be here, to have been invited, though.
Ha ha ha. Of course the elf would speak of manners. Ha! Say what you think, elf.
I honestly was quite forthright with that. It's an impressive city. I have been almost overwhelmed my time here so far. And I'm glad to have the opportunity to discuss this with the three of you.
This will be something to tell at the feast. It's been many centuries since we've had such a warm display of words from the ones with pointy ears. Not since before the country of Windward was created, don't we have quite a guest like that.
I try to be a man of honor, I suppose. Not so much holding on to supposed past grudges, I don't know.
Honor is what makes a person. If you have no honor, then we have no real person.
Agreed.
Moradin himself values honor above all else. Honor with oneself. And there's our Lady Half-Orc, know a thing or two about honor.
I'll give Otti a little nudge.
Of course I know a thing or two about honor, and can appreciate the honor it is to be here in such a well-known and established city.
A polite half-orc, well. By my beard, there's a first for everything.
And can I just compliment you on the alcohol that you serve in the city? It is absolutely delightful.
Ah, now we're getting on to my favourite topic. What was your favourite drink? I'm quite partial to the salamander's bite.
I don't think we had the salamander's bite. I think it was...
Was it meat? What was it?
No, your Excellency, the bullet's blood. That's my favourite.
Man of classic tastes. I appreciate that.
London, where been? Thanks for sharing.
Oh, well. I am something of a traitor in that regard. My Vizier, I've grown accustomed to halfling wine. Ha! London, you wuss. I drink the blood of Vigilagar. The only way for me to feel joy today. Ha! Ha! Spoken like a warrior.
Yep, that's Dwarven.
I'll jump in and just be like a bit of an ale man myself, but
well, obviously, things are happening on the surface world. And now, here we stand, 3 of the 6 most famous people in the world at the moment.
You summoned us here, and ultimately we were going to seek an audience with yourselves, but
Yes.
how may we assist?
Well, I thought I'd best get you in here to have a little chat before my people start tearing themselves apart over the possibility of the voice of Moradin, I'm told. Guiding them to whatever ends they see fit.
Certainly not a self-bestowed title, I do assure you. Just a pleasantry of Meltokio's warmth, shall we say.
Indeed. Well, the priests have been informed in their sermons, in their meditations, that one has appeared on the surface, one with a connection to Moradin unlike any they've seen in a generation.
did he tell you that he summoned Moradin during a battle? We saw it. Summoned, perhaps strong word, but Moradin intervened
Make
in our battle.
I want you to make a persuasion roll, Russ.
Oh, am I advantaged then because of this thing?
You are still at an advantage, yes. You have
Still
a 15!
really
I appreciate you trying to big up Korgrin, but summoning Moradin, that's a bit of a tall tale.
Wasn't the fist coming out of the sky during the televised fight?
No. That was during the Truth Gate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will fess up and just a grand show of camaraderie. I do assure you, my friend Russ is simply mistaking the ability I have to channel our Lord. I assure you, no such thing did occur.
I'm not particularly in touch with the faith of Moradin. I must admit, there was I did observe a divine intervention of sorts. I am not trying to mislead you.
I don't think you're trying to mislead me. I just simply think you're trying to embellish your friend's accomplishment. But it's fine. I big up my friends all the time. Anyways, enough dilly-dallying. Time to get to the meat of the matter. Master Korgrin, obviously you're aware from walking in our streets, and from where I've been told you were picked up, that Viniderzan is not what it used to be.
I am aware of this, and Longdon did advise me during our joint venture in Jarashjakai of the attack that took place.
Yes. Well, I sent Ambassador Longdon to that shitstain they call a capital. Honestly, it just looks like one gigantic dick in the middle of ice. Do they know nothing about the subtleties? Well, what about the raw power? Architecture aside, it used to be elven, so no disrespect on yourself, Master Elf, but your architecture has always been somewhat flimsy. Anyways, off I send Longdon. He goes to meet before the king. The next thing I know, Longdon has been given orders to hand over rights to the city to him. An annexation of territory to become part of the Windward Kingdom. Obviously, Longdon did exactly what I instructed to do, should an unreasonable request be made. He took out his cock and he pissed on the floor.
I just turned to Longdon and down to his crotch, back up to his face. Oh!
He just kind of purses his lips and goes, Vizier requests it! So, obviously, the King of Windward is not our favourite friend at the moment.
I wonder
He
why.
did attempt to have Longdon arrested, I believe. However, his guards was able to get him to the teleportation circle, which was lightly defended. I think you might have had a say in that.
I don't know what you mean.
Indeed. Well, Longdon has told me that you are responsible for his recent lost half-elf population. Civil rebellion in the streets of his own capital. And he claims to be a king.
As I'm sure Otti, who was there with me that day, unfortunately Russ has only recently joined our company, will attest. The half-elves have indeed been removed from Jarishtakai with our assistance and are in a secure location. And with
I shall tell the army to have a drink in your honor, then.
You're too kind, my liege. As Meltokio will, of course, attest, we are now at war.
Indeed. Well, that brings us on to the main crux of the matter. So, I have been informed that something I had forgotten and had to be reminded of. Being a Vizier is a busy position, as you can understand. Many years ago, we had a former occupant of the city who struck it out on his own and made it quite big in the surface world. Quite a established man. I believe a man who is responsible for two of the clans of Bravebeard and Frostbeard. I don't remember the name of the man, but apparently he did something pretty awful. And that caused a royal missive, message, edict, whatever you want to call it, to come to my palace here and tell me to hand over these people. And I said no. So they replied saying, well, make sure they never ever enter Windward territory again. And I said, okay, so long as you shut up about it. And as far as I know, that was that. I didn't give any orders to my people, because why the fuck would I do that? Why would I go on the word of a foreign king and tell my people what to do? We have more important things to do here than to wander topside and look at things that they shouldn't be looking at. I don't understand it. I don't pay attention to that sort of thing. But I have come to my attention that one such individual did leave the city, and the next thing we know, they're causing all kinds of trouble up there, and now that same individual has come back, and my only thought on the matter is, the civil war he's started, does he bring it with him?
Well, I suppose that's a matter of perspective. War is unfortunately at our doorstep, my liege.
Indeed.
I can assure you that I played no part in it. However, I assume it is by my mere existence that it arrives.
Well, I believe the war is already here. They've already attacked our streets looking for something. And I believe that my people have been able to successfully inform me that what they were looking for was you.
You are well informed. You would also be correct.
But they didn't get you. What they did get was one of my citizens. Your father.
That is correct. Aye.
They also took several hundred of my people as well, as prisoners, escorted them away. 200. That's how many we lost in the fight. A few more hundred were taken. Obviously, I demanded reparations for this, but this has fallen under deaf ears. And, to top matters off, it appears that your surface king has allied with our sworn enemy. Or at least funding them to a matter.
The Dwagar.
Indeed. They've become more bold. They're getting closer to the surface. They're boxing us in, preventing us from trading with some of the other civilizations of the Underdark. And with the king's own forces just outside our mountain, one would assume we're trapped in here, like dogs.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In the war against Argoneth, there was cooperation between our kind and the Deep Dwellers. Aye?
If you want to call it a corporation. Molten Durabone actually sort of steps forward and says, Vizier, this cooperation that he speaks of was nothing more than we did not want to fight and die with Duergar scum. So we simply went to a different battlefield, whilst the Duergar did what they did best, fight horribly and die. But their deaths served a purpose, and after they were done dying, they went on their way. I would not call it cooperation, I would simply call it cease of hostilities, because we were not in the same area as them.
See. I turn to Otti and just ask, do we still have those jewels?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Hundreds of miles away, Korgrin, Rennas feels a chill go over him, as if something really bad's happened.
Do you know if anything would bring Dwagar's accelerated aggression to an end?
Yes, I do believe there would be something we could do to accelerate the end of their aggression. We could wipe them out.
Aye, technically that is correct. You are perfectly right in suggesting that, and during my time serving, I would have wholeheartedly agreed, and even now, still mostly do. But we may have, once again, a common enemy. That is not to say that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, simply a target that we may both take out aggressions upon without inflicting it upon each other. I do not know if you're aware that Argoneth is returning.
I have heard the rumours.
The king himself, the one who Lungdon pissed on the floor of, is... I don't know if he's his thrall, but he's certainly influenced by Argoneth, the deep
As
black,
you said in your message to the world, yes.
a deep black purple jewel rests upon his person, and we believe
That's
this
new.
is the cause. If there were a way to redirect the Dwagar's aggression towards the king's own forces, would you say long-lost jewelry, artifacts, might go along with easing that?
In all honesty, I didn't know the Duergar was interested in jewelry at all. I thought all they did was like to eat mud, crap, and kill good innocent dwarves.
Sometimes
The
even
only
dirt,
good...
sometimes even
the
dirt have
only-
jewels in it.
The only good Duergar is a dead Duergar. We will burn their homes. We will sack their cities. We will throw their spawn from the rooftops. We should wipe them out before they wipe us out.
Aye. Or we could let the king do that.
And how would you go about suggesting this happen?
During... I'll turn to Otti and just be like, is it okay if we show them, we tell them?
I'll go have the bag ready. open, ready for when you stick your hand in when you get word.
Just bag ready like that.
Yeah.
I will reach in and pull out then the jewels that we found in Drogon de Mortar.
Those are some mighty fine rocks.
During our travels to Jarashjakai, we passed through the remnants of Drogon de Mortar within the Iced Mountains.
A sore spot for us.
Aye. The ruins are certainly a blemish on our history. During our time there, we did encounter Dwaegar, who were looking for these very same relics, and said that their continued forays to the surface were due to searching and hunting them down. Now, we ultimately were going to be betrayed by the Dwaegar and stumbled upon stumbled upon the final resting place of King Drogon himself, willfully or unwillfully cursed into undeath, I believe out of choice, however, to continue watch over his dead city. We found these in the room. It may go toward allaying, or at least, as I say, redirecting the Dwaegar's aggressions. Could be wrong, but a few jewels for the price of however many lives may be worthwhile.
Well, sounds like a very ambitious plan, and in all honesty, you have my consent. If you wish to have the Duragar and the King's forces fight each other, that's a fight for us. I'm not too sure what I can do about it, however.
And shall we facilitate travel to capital? Your own aid where possible. I'm not expecting much, but I'm owed to get there.
Oh, if there is a fight to be had, of course we'll come to your aid. I was waiting for you to ask.
Oh, of course. That was going to be the next point, I assure you. I do mean just travel to the Dwaegar capital, that we may potentially have this discussion with them.
They have had great deals. They've gone through a great deal to ensure that the location of this city is in fact hidden from us to good reason. I believe they have actually... Well, what do you know of the Duragar home city?
Very little, other than what we all really know, that theirs was a Tig that was long lost to the depths when they dug too deep and encountered the horrors of the Underdark themselves and became subjugated to it.
Indeed. Alton, would you like to fill us in?
Yes, Vizier. The reason why we have never been able to pinpoint the Duragar capital is because, according to prisoner confessions, they have built their greatest city on the back of a gigantic beast that burrows through the earth in accordance to its needs. Their city moves.
Interesting.
As such, we do not know where they are. We do not have any address to teleport to them. We have no means to get to them. Of course, if we ever find a settlement that does not move, we of course send out military excursions to wipe them out down to the last babe. But as for where they spawn from, I am afraid We do not know.
Fair enough. I suppose that would be ultimately something we would need to address and approach ourselves.
Well,
I suppose.
don't get me wrong. If you can find where they live, then I'll be more than happy to spare every single soldier I have to help you and your allies in wiping them out. And of course, this wouldn't be done without payment. We would then, in turn, help you wipe your allies out. Your enemies out, my apologies. Your surfacer foes.
I see. On
Does
the
that
topic.
sound like a good deal? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Aside from the very obvious plated elephant in the room, sure, I'm in agreement, and I believe we all are, but there is still the matter of the King's forces at Billy Durzan's doorstep.
I am confident in our army's ability to defend this city from invasions, but that is exactly why we have not joined you in your struggle. We cannot leave this city. Leaving is a different matter, as whatever direction we decide to go will leave us vulnerable to our other enemies. If the Royal Second Army could be defeated, the ones camped outside of our city, I can send you a detachment as reinforcements, whilst we focus on dismantling the Juligar threat.
How many forces do we still have, if I may ask, that are able to fight the Second Army?
If you clear out the Second Army with your allies, we can move in a pincer movement. Well, I can send a pincer movement from my own detachment. I can promise you 3,000 of my men.
And how many are there of the knights of the Second Army?
At our last count, they're standing at around 6,000. Obviously, we do outnumber them. I can detach my entire force of 15,000, but then the Jurigar would attack us from behind. I have reason to believe that they are working together on this, so...
What have you considered in terms of wiping out the Second Army?
A full-on military attack. They're camped at the moment. They've built up a little fort for themselves. We'll introduce them to some fine dwarven technology. Siege is an old friend of ours. We would break down their walls within a day, storm inside, unleash our bullets, and have fun.
Question to DM: does gunpowder exist in?
It has not been invented yet in this world.
And is there any form of demolition that is remotely controlled or can be remotely controlled?
Maybe spells even, no?
There's potentially runes. Yeah.
Inventive uses of spells and spell scrolls.
Okay. So there's not like, I say gunpowder, there's not dynamite or TNT or anything like that would be used in
barrels of oil, I suppose. Like they have, they have oils and such. Like not oil as in car oil, as in regular oils.
Yeah. Not that I'm to presume the commander's ability have led many wars, battles exceedingly well. But I am aware that Dwarven Pride has been a bit of a stickler. Why do we not simply...
How we built our city.
I agree. Why do we not propose surrender to the Second Army? Invite them in. cave them in?
Well, we would shut off our route to the surface.
It's not as if trade is exactly thriving right now, and the trade quarter is all but non-existent.
We do not just trade with Windward, we trade with other countries. Respetan, Territan, Esseria.
Would it not be worthwhile just simply excavating new tunnels?
That will take time. And we would have to pay great tribute to the inevitable drow territories we have to go through to make these tunnels. It would ruin us economically if we shut off those tunnels.
I see. And ambush inside the trade quarter is outside of our capabilities?
I'll just get down to the mince of it. I think you send your forces to attack the Royal Second Army. I can send a detachment to pinch them and wipe them out. But as it stands right now, we are forcibly stuck inside the city. Whatever direction we go, I know our foe will attack us from behind.
Fair enough.
Let's build us our little alliance. But before we can commit to this, whoever is in charge of the Windward Throne by the end of this, I know that you and your friends here will have a great say in how the matters are done. So, I want you to promise us that whoever rules Windward by the end of this will grant us concessions.
What concessions?
We require a return of the lost territories of Baron Zala and Drogon the Morla. We require the sum of 2 million gold in reparations due to the attacks done by their commander, Sir Garrick de Blanc. And an oath from yourselves to send armies to assist the dwarves to invade the Underdark and destroy our ancient rivals, the Duergar.
So I'm just writing these down. Lost territories. Drogon. Returned. Oh, Drogon Demorda and Baron Zala. 2 million gold.
In reparations.
Yep.
You changed to a king.
And an oath from yourselves that Windward will send its armies to help invade the Underdark and destroy the Duergar.
I suppose I'll turn to Otti and Russ, and is that something we can agree now, or do you think we should confer with the others first?
I think we should speak to the others first. We would hate it if they made an agreement on our behalf without us there.
So, Russ personally does not have hatred for the Duergar and does not really know what they've done, particularly, or why they're so evil, so just killing 1 million people or whatever just seems a bit kind of much.
It's fine, it's not 1 million.
Unfortunately, to be fair on you, Russ, that is quite literally the sentiment of pretty much any surfacer who's never had any contact with the Duergar.
Yeah, well, no, I thought it was because I remember you saying that it was Korgrin's hatred was really visible for the Duergar, but that no one else really got it. So just like raising an entire civilization just seems a bit much to agree on, just because we want to make 3 dwarves happy. Obviously, all of this may be said through looks rather than out loud during the Grand Vizier thing.
Well, they can promise you 4,000 capable warriors, plus the detachments of their bullets and other such beasts of war. They can't promise you their entire army, otherwise the Duergar will take advantage of that.
Yeah.
We'll confer with the remnants of our group that are discussing similar matters with other parties that we are ideally looking to get on side. I've no idea what the potential coffers of the capital could even hold, nor am I certain whether they would be willing to go to war on the dwarves' behalf.
Otti and Russ, since you guys are surfacers, go ahead and make a history check.
I just saw Verity's. They built this city on rocks and stone.
I mean, Russ, you're just a soldier, you know. You got paid for your time, whatever. Otti, you're a little bit more learned than that. You swear you heard your dad's talking about the annual budget of the military going up recently to roughly around... probably about 5-6 million a year. So the capital can afford the shit.
Fair enough.
Still like a third of the budget. Poof.
That's just the military budget.
Yeah.
Per year.
That's pretty much the only budget that it's actually a well-known fact that's the military is one of the largest expenditures of the kingdom as per King Turiel's design.
Well, then
There's a war
why
in
don't
America.
we be saving money?
For a lot of it.
It's like half the reason people don't like Turiel is because he spends 3 times more on the military than he does on infrastructure or even agriculture.
And they could find the Blanc as well. You know. War crimes. Take his money for it as well.
But we can certainly bear these concessions to the rest of our party, and whatever party does then come into power after this is all said and done, if any of us are still standing, we can bring that forward to them. But we will certainly get back to you with our commitment on that.
We'll do an agreement in principle then, and we shall wait for your confirmation in due course. I believe Gomorrah has blessed you with the ability to send messages, so I shall have it. I shall send some of my priests around to ensure that to redesign some of the, shall we say, defences of this palace to ensure that such messages you wish to send can bypass any blockers we have.
Fair enough, that would be greatly appreciated.
If you have a spare hour, if that's okay.
Certainly, all the time. I grew up looking at the Grand Reach. I would relish the opportunity to see it more in full.
Maybe when our wars are over and we have more time for drinks and peace.
Certainly. Well, thank you for your
Well then.
time. And may
No.
his light shine upon you.
Thank you. May we kill many of our enemies together in due course.
I look forward to it.
Molten Durabane just gives you like a silent nod, Korgrin. And he sizes you up, Otti. Like, you get the feeling he is a strong man. But, like, as he's looking at you, he just kind of sees an equal, really. He's not looking down at you or, like, not judging you or anything. Like, he's looking at you and seeing, like, you... He can see that you are fucking capable, and he respects you for that. He looks at you... Molten looks at you, Russ, and really he just sees a very polite elf, and you get the hint that he feels kind of sorry for you, that you're being dragged into, you know, real men's fighting and not elfy dance fighting.
That is bollocks.
Wrap him, do it!
He doesn't know.
Challenge it to a duel. No, I don't.
It's just that look of, I'm sorry that you have to go through this.
We'll salute your corpse at the end.
I think being generally quite supposedly a charismatic person, I would just kind of maybe like notice this kind of feeling and deciding not to do anything about it, and just kind of like, we'll just agree to agree on that, and just like not worth bringing up. Let's just move on.
Water under the bridge.
Yeah.
What was the hour that they required? Did they require me staying inside the palace?
Yeah, basically, like the Vizier Regal will call for his priests. They will come along. They'll basically take all three of you in various sections of the palace, giving yourself each more incredulous looks of just magnificent architecture all throughout. They perform some rituals on you. Korgrin, I'm just checking something. Whenever you're ready, that'd be great. Whenever you are ready, that would be great.
I'm ready.
No, not you.
I'm ready.
I know you're ready.
Ready for what? Oh no. Roll initiative.
Just to confirm that the crown and that has been left with them.
No, we still have it.
Okay.
So that was just kind of to show them, and then back in the bag.
Were you bragging?
No, genuinely, if we could use the Dwegar to attack the King's forces and also kill them in the process, that would be genuinely such an incredible day for me. You have no idea. It would also kind of save us the second problem of having to go kill them ourselves after the war. You know?
Korgrin, you recognise this as basically a variation of a ritual designed to prevent divination. You are of high level levels of the spell to know that high level now to know that Korgrin has been able to bless you with such a gift. If you wish to not be scryed upon, there is a spell that you can cast to basically make that happen, I think.
Do I know how to learn said spell?
Yeah, well, you're a cleric. You know all the spells.
All the cleric spells. Is that a cleric
I
spell?
think I think it's a 6th level spell. So
What is it?
I'm just trying to figure it out. That's the thing. I thought it was guards and wards, but it isn't.
There's one called Mind Blank, but I don't think that's a cleric spell.
I know that there is a cleric thing that happens at 6th level or something like that. That basically protects you from such things. But basically, they're doing a variation of that spell to ensure that any divination magic that you wish to cast on the palace will work. That you will bypass their defences.
I'm trying to think if it's forbiddance you're referencing, because that just references teleportation, which I suppose you kind of do with a scry. You put something down in the area.
Yeah,
but it doesn't specifically say scrying.
Well, scrying creates an invisible eye in a location, so that is a form of a teleportation, that's what I think, at least.
Hey, if that's how you want to rule it, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, whatever the fucking mechanics are, you can scry on the palace, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I dig it.
Do I get any magic gifts?
No. Like I mean, to be fair, Russ and Otti, you are included in on this ritual. Like, so should you guys ever learn scrying magic, you can also do it. You just kind of got caught up with Korgrin, really.
I was hoping it was going to be like a spa type thing again, just like...
No. If you want a spa, go jump in the boulette baths.
Ooh, maybe.
Lots of revitalizing mud there.
Yeah, mud.
But with that, you are escorted from the palace with Regal's offer of an alliance. All he requires are some promises and some vows from you. But as you say, it is something that you require to discuss with your party. So, with that, you can spend as much time as you want here in Filidazan. Those of you with the tippers, you have finished your meeting with the tippers, and you can spend as much time in their settlement as you want. What would you guys like to do after your respective meetings with the various leaders of the two factions you wanted to go see?
So I think out of just kind of like respect for Korgrin and him not having been home in a while, I'd ask him if there's anything that he really wants to do while we're in Felidrazan. But personally, myself and maybe Otti, though I'd ask her, would maybe want to just get on with things since we're quite rushed. Right, we've got quite a lot going on. But if Korgrin wants to do anything, happy to hang about and.
I know what you mean. It's like I'm glad we're home. Also, this is kind of a passing visit, so, don't spend too long. Yeah, I get you.
Tempted to go to the churchy area that's like the Church of Moradin and just tell them my story, which went really, really underwhelmed the Grand Vizier. Just really heighten it up, But,
Start the rumor, is that what you're trying to say?
No, just be like, we saw Moradin, guys.
I mean, I would certainly take... If you wanted to come with, you'd be welcome to, but Korgrin would go there and certainly offer a prayer to Moradin where he feels closest to Moradin and just kind of thank him for his intervention that day and everything that's going on, etc., etc.
Hey, we saw it. We know he's real, this one.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
If he's willing to help out again, I'll do whatever.
Probably grab a pint in the Leaky Boulette and pick up some.
2 separate bar brawls happen in the time you have drinks there.
Only 2.
It's just as fun as you remember.
The same locals are still there, pissing away their money into their pints.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yep. It's not changed in that regard, but it's different still. There's that sense of big things are about to happen. Let's get fucked up.
And yeah, probably just pick up some dwarven provisions like, mushrooms and boulette cheese and stuff like that that you don't get on the surface.
Yeah. A delectable here that dwarves really, really like is pebble crackers.
Pebble crackers, interesting.
Pebble
So
crackers.
you're just going to say mud?
No, it's quite literally popcorn, but with legitimate rocks. Like rocks that have been prepared in such a way that they will crumble away in your mouth, and they don't really provide any nourishment. They're more of it's more of a chomp on them, chew them, feel the sensation of Mother Earth in your mouth before spitting them out, sort of thing.
Dwarves are weird.
It's like
I feel like that was just chewing rocks, really.
It's five gum
from the outside perspective. Yeah, basically from the perspective on the outside, you're just chewing rocks. To a dwarf, this is a kid's treat, but it's nice.
Well, Verity, why is it always Korgrin things? Just
Korgrin's the most photogenic.
there's such an appearance and frequency of dwarven.
Technically, Korgrin's not in that picture.
That's not even Korgrin, I think.
No, I know.
It might have been a separate occasion.
That's
Maybe
London and
I
the King.
zoned out and didn't realise it's Korgrin pissing on the floor in front of the king. I don't know.
I'm not sure why the king is so short with tiny little legs that don't reach the ground.
You can't tell me. You can't tell
on
me.
the chair so he doesn't get pissed on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also can't tell me that Turiel isn't a long. He's a short ass. He's 4'11" and he convinces people he's 5 foot.
Coming from the fucking dwarf.
He's a fucking what's it called? He's Lord Farquaad in disguise.
I was mainly referencing Moradin's grace, just above that, looking glamorous and puckered lips and us all looking fabulous.
I mean, I don't like boy bands, but that's a boy band I'd watch.
I'm a little perturbed by how much Russ has just gone straight into like 80s glam, I think. Like, I don't know, I see like black leather, like tight black leather trousers and slick back hair, it's a bit much.
I think it works.
David Bowie and Pan's Labyrinth or something like that?
Rich in editing of this episode, you're going to have to put these pictures up so we can reference them.
I can do that.
I don't know. It's just like,
When we're in Finny Durzan, can I pick up some of the ale that Korgrin likes?
Oh, the Boulette's Blood.
Boulette's Blood, that's the one.
Yep. Of course you can.
Wait till we're really far away and then just drink it in front of them.
To be fair, they won't cost the whole amount. Alright, I'll put it at if you're buying him like a sizable portion of it, so he can take it home and just enjoy it on occasion. Just call it a gold, and it'll be fine.
I think like a small barrel that we can go and stick in the house somewhere and just like tease him with it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Or give it to him when he's facing trying times.
So we can face them pissed.
No, it's like a little memory of him. I don't know, I was just trying to be nice, Korgrin.
As if one little barrel would get you pissed, Korgrin. Come on, you're supposed to be a dwarf.
Exactly. That's breakfast.
About 2 hours after leaving the palace, that, Korgrin, is when you get the message from Princess Ariel.
Yeah, I did watch the video, so I have seen the scry.
Yeah. So, going back now into present time, so you are now aware of what Ariel has spied on you for. Like, you basically you've just seen that. Let's just say you've just seen that conversation that she's just had with Goliath the Mighty.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was certainly. I didn't quite feel her fear, but I can imagine from just a regular person's perspective how absolutely terrifying that would be, basically looking into the face of death. She is probably right, though. We would likely need to deal with him at some point. He's only gotten older and stronger since the last war, and the dragons were enough of a problem then.
Can I actually have you make an insight check from that whole interaction, please, Korgrin? Because you're very good at insight, I believe.
I am. Whether I roll well, different matter. There it is. Give me random. Oh, I've got Bardic Inspiration. What's your D?
DD. It's a D10 for now, I think.
17.
Okay, 17. Ariel has been in the company of some madmen. You get the feeling that any fear she experienced may have been played up a little just to get him to talk. She is scared, but she's braver than pretty much anyone in that palace knows.
True. There was the hyperventilation that did happen afterwards, so that is still kind of. There was a little bit of fear there.
She did have a panic attack after it was all done, but in the moment,
okay,
she kind of played him a little.
Okay.
She got him to talk about himself, which is what she wanted. She wanted you guys to get an insight as to the beast he was, and that's exactly what you got. But it's fucking scary knowing that thing could literally eat you alive, and there's nothing you can do about it.
He is classed as an ancient, isn't he?
Yeah.
Not yet. He's verging on agency.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a history check, actually.
Slightly better.
Just a moment. You vaguely remember hearing of one ancient red dragon. He doesn't operate anywhere near Windward. Like, he is quite a ways away. in another land known as Ninjakronth, the Eternal Fire. That's the only ancient red dragon you've ever heard of.
Fair enough. What was it? Ninjakronth?
Ninjakronth.
Thank you.
Also known as the Eternal Fire.
Eternal Fire.
I think, if I recall properly from the scrying, I think the problem with Goliath the Mighty was not just his power, but also just his character and his kind of like, like bloodlust essentially, which kind of makes him a bit.
He wants to kill a lot of people for glory, which sets him aside from the other red dragons who just kill people because they're in the way. Like, red dragons have a vanity about them, a terrible wrath about them, that when they seek to bring their destruction, it's mindless. Well, it's not mindless, but it's spread out. It's meant to put on a show of force to all the masses. Goliath's, when he spreads out his destruction, it's targeted. He knows exactly what he's doing.
And can I just quickly ask, is the kind of red dragon being able to become a humanoid form, is that standard of red dragons, or is that just a Goliath thing?
Some dragons are the elder the dragon, the more likely they know magic. The more likely they know magic, the more likely they take human form, because it does make, sometimes it's too difficult to interact with your minions when they're too scared to even look at you.
No, if he is spewing fire and casting spells, I don't want it to be a part of it, but I mean, I'll do it if you guys are.
Vectra the Fast, for example, has never displayed any magical talent.
I was about to say we've never seen Vectra in human form.
Actually,
we did.
Yeah, when you first met him.
Yeah, because both him and...
Oh, shit, yeah, they came out in human form, didn't they? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's more of an age thing, really. But, like, Vectra doesn't like taking human form because he's not as fast in it. So that's why you don't really see him in it.
But at least the adult dragons we've interacted with that haven't then immediately killed have been able to show humanoid form.
Yeah.
All of the white dragons they haven't shown humanoid forms, but we've just fought them and killed them. So
yeah.
But yes, so there we go.
So Korgrin would just have gone through, just seen the scry himself, and then would relay it back to me and Otti, I imagine.
Yeah, relay it to you two, and then when we get back to Parfadellen, let the others know. Probably Loic as well. At the same time.
Is that where we're heading next, Parfadellen? Is that what we said we'd go back to?
Yeah, we certainly us three. We weren't going to be going anywhere else because I can only take us back to Parfadellen with word of recall.
Okay.
I can't take us to other teleportation circles. I can only take us to my little shrine I've built.
Cool.
All right then. Well, without wanting to wait around for much longer, Korgrin takes Russ and Otti back to Parfadellen. That leaves Rennas, Verity, and Arrabella out in the frontier. So after meeting with the Tippers, what were your intentions? What did you want to do?
I think our plan was to go and see the Frontier Ranger Force and, one, try and get them on side, but two, presumably they've got some info on the surrounding area and the more desolate places, which is potentially where we're going to find this spawning pit. So they might have some information on that too.
Yeah. Like, the Ranger Force is a small one. We've got a circle to take us within a day's walk of where everybody thinks they are.
Yeah.
So we could get there and then back to Path within 3-4 days. We've got the sand and stones, and we got George. Don't you dare teach my kids nasty things. So, yeah. Oh god,
Okay.
can you just imagine? Like, orphans
Dwarf
running
kids
around.
all just mocking Edgar.
Yeah,
One
the
will
one
get through.
the 1d4 capable of killing a regular person, because regular people don't have that much health.
No, but we'd said that we had to teach the kids something. I could also just teach them shields. That would be okay. I could do
That would
that.
probably be better.
No,
More
don't scare
helpful.
the kid. I don't know.
It takes many years of practice to be able to manipulate the weave the way the bards do. So a few days of, hey, do it like this, ain't gonna work.
Alright.
Verity
And
laughs
there's
chaotically.
I can just do it!
You guys have to
Verity
learn.
Verity dies, all magic leaves windward.
What's a fucking thought?
Alright. So, utilizing Verity's magical circle and the address that you received from the tippers, will you cast a teleportation circle to go out to the location that is closest to Stonekirk and attempt to find the rangers out there somewhere?
Seems like a plan to me. If we don't find any tracks, then potentially we can giant eagle it and look from the top.
I feel like we should use the sending stone to let them know what we're doing before we do anything.
We inform the others. I don't know.
I don't think we've had any contact between the two teams yet.
No,
No.
It was to my understanding that we were just going to kind of meet back up in Parfadel and when we were done.
Yeah.
If you want to, you're more than welcome to. Certainly, Korgrin wouldn't have had any kind of inclination to use sending, because that's certainly my interpretation of it.
The
But
stones we've got do one charge a day with charge at dawn.
yes,
Is that
correct.
how they work? So potentially, last thing at night before we go to sleep, we could send her a message, just check it in if we haven't gone back then, because we'd probably do that anyway.
Have we been gone one day each?
Yes.
Can I do the sending?
Yes.
Oh dear.
No, at the end of the day, don't worry. I'll work on it. Is it a word limit?
This is
25.
25.
Okay. I'll work on it.
No, but you have to wing it.
I will say I have written something.
Oh.
So can I be really cheeky?
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that face! That face was just ow!
That
Like,
was
mine will be
fine.
nowhere near as interesting as yours would be, to be fair. Like,
Fine. Just wait until I somehow get the sending spell.
Look,
You're
we should
all-
just buy loads and loads of sending stones so we can all sending our own way.
like, to be fair, if, like, they get my message and then they're like, the fuck, they could always do it back, and yeah, then it could be sent, I don't know.
Up to you.
That's true.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
So, I'll just let you know. If they're inside the dome, sending won't work. Going back to
That
them.
is also true.
It depends on what your timeline is, because I would have probably done this as soon as we got away from Timothy, because he kind of pissed me off a bit.
Then I would say it would reach them after they've had their chat with Mithril, but before after they've had their chat with Regal, but before they've left Filidozan.
Okay. While they're being taught the
They were being taught.
anti-scrying thing, because I have no idea if that will stop this.
No, we're outside.
You're outside. They're out. They would be outside. So like, I'll just say the timelines match up. Like they've done what they needed to do. You guys spent basically 2 hours with Timothy Tipper and walking to his place, getting a tour around, discussing it with him, walking out, and pretty much the same timeline with the Filidozan team. Like. They were there for about half an hour, 45 minutes before they went to go see Regal Mithril. They had about a 25-minute conversation with him, an hour around the palace, and literally pretty much as they're walking down the steps of the Prime Reach is when the sending...
Okay, so it would literally just be, met Timothy, his help has terms, wants gold for list of potential allies, going for rangers, meet at home in 3 days unless needed.
Who's that to? It should be whoever has
It would
the
be to
standing
Otti.
stone. Yeah. 25 words, Otti.
Otti.
You can respond.
Otti, you can respond.
It will be at Philly Durzan, saw by Vizier.
Vizier.
Yeah.
Vizier.
Does that count? Do you say that as 3 words, or you
Several
say that?
words.
I'm going to count it as
20 words
yes.
of
I'm
variations
going to
of
count
Vizier.
it as yes. That's 3 words, yeah.
Ah.
Okay. Intelligent character, not intelligent player.
That's 12 words.
That doesn't count, don't worry.
Had bargain. Awaiting meet up with you to confirm. I don't know, Korgrin. What else do you want to say to them?
That's where it ends with Otti saying that.
Yeah,
It's like me
it
trying to
ends
talk
with,
to Korgrin
I
to
don't
try and
know,
get the
Korgrin,
stone
what
to
else
work.
do you want to...
It sounds real simple, but actually it's really, really not, isn't it?
It's more of a case of like she doesn't really understand the magic either. Like she does not she's only got level 2 spells, so it's literally just like bare minimum. She's like, Korgrin, I don't know how this works. Could you like turn it off for me or something?
How do I, where's call end?
Where's the staff key? Where's the star key?
Why do I see myself? Why is my head on fire?
Why have I opened Snapchat?
I thought you were going to say, like, why have I opened a portal to another dimension, not, like...
No,
What does
geez.
LOL mean? Oh, fucking Christ.
Lots of
Lol
love,
out loud.
Grandma. Lots of love. Fair
Okay.
enough.
All right. So, with that information in mind, it's up to Team Philly Durzan to decide if they want to go anywhere else whilst they're inside the dome. Meanwhile, Verity will cast teleportation circle on the Tippertine, and they will take them out into the Farlands. Can I get a wild magic roll from you, please, Verity?
Oh, good.
Leave a grease throw in her stead.
Bye,
I
Garistro.
forgot I had to do that.
Enjoy, Timothy.
Yeah.
Ah.
All good today. Okay. So, as soon as you finish the spell, Verity, you are all transported away. And you feel that choking, almost squeezing sensation again. But as quickly as it starts, it once again ends, and you find yourself in the middle of a desert. It is fucking hot. It stretches on for miles and miles and miles, with various mountains around. It is a dead land. You can see the bones of various creatures scattered, laid astrewn. You can see cracks in the land. You can see dead trees. You can see patches of, well, the ground and the rock just covered in a sickly black that is very clearly not natural. I want you all to make an intelligence check when you see that sickly black, please.
I still have that point of exhaustion, don't I?
You were, if you've stayed there overnight, you would have slept.
He didn't stay there.
You did not stay there.
No,
overnight.
this is the evening we've gone out in.
Gotcha.
We not
Yeah.
have had to
Or late
stay
afternoon,
overnight
whatever.
to get the spell slot for teleportation.
No.
No.
You.
Because it's a ritual, so you can just do it whenever.
Ah, okay.
No, it's because I have 2 spell slots. It's not a ritual one either. And I have
Oh,
no
right.
I'm far too busy wondering who the hell built the relation circle out here.
Like, Rennas, you immediately put your arms up just to shield your eyes away from the intense sun. Arri and Verity, you recognise this as demonic corruption, and that's when it pegs that there were many, many battles, many demons that were fought and killed out in this land in the war, and this land never truly recovered. The Far Lands is a dead land, and only the heartiest or the craziest of people would choose to live out here.
Do we see any sign of anything not natural, other than the demonic corruption? I'm saying, like, anything man-made, anything to give us some sort of clue of where anyone might be recently?
Make a perception check as you scan the area.
Ah, yes, this will go well. Oh, okay. 21.
Looking around, you swear you can see some structures a couple of miles ahead of you in the long, open area, but they are half buried in sand or whatever, maybe a roof's collapsed, most likely abandoned. Probably the remains of a village, very much like Oakenheath, that just was destroyed in the invasion and never rebuilt.
I mean, heading towards the village might make sense. If they're out here, they might have taken shelter there, even if it's like abandoned. It seems like a reasonable place to start, that they'd at least use it as a landmark, presumably.
Said west from the portal, really, didn't they? So
I don't know, that was far too many weeks ago in real lifetime.
I'm pretty certain they said west from the portal.
Well, you do have a keen mind,
Okay.
so I'll take your word for it.
Alright. So, you guys head out into the Far Lands and begin exploring, looking for any signs of the Ranger Collective, or the Frontier Rangers even. Okay, I want all 3 of you to make a group survival roll. And I would also like you to make 3 constitution checks. The checks will entitle the morning, the afternoon, and the evening of the desert.
Oh, so the hottest part of the day, I'm absolutely fine. But in the morning and evening.
Verity rolling, Jesus.
Rolling at disadvantage is better than me rolling normally.
And
It's still
one
a really good
survival
roll to
check
the
from
crazy.
you, please, Verity.
Pardon?
One survival check from you as well, please.
Wasn't that at the top? No. Okay. Oof.
Okay. Alright. So, you pretty much spend the entirety of the rest of the day looking for any signs of life. The best thing you can find is some desert-based crag cats that having a scrap with a pack of hyenas. If you were lower level, that might have been something that might have required you to focus on a fight, but honestly, if those things came anywhere towards you in a hostile attempt, you'd wipe them out within a few seconds. So, should that ever happen, we can just safely assume that it's just part of the dangers of the desert that you guys are able to deal with without any issue. After about 3-4 hours of searching, the sun is beginning to go down. How would you like to spend this evening?
We're going to have to find some sort of shelter, aren't we? Are we still by the village, or have we gone out in the direction? Oh,
It's
you've got
not-
the elf, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I can put it down by y'all.
You know how you can make the dome like a different colour? Can you make it just like bright yellow with black letters of looking for frontier rangers, just in case they happen to come across it?
I can't put pathogens on it.
Damn.
I can make it yellow like the sand.
Well, no. Well, we want the rangers to spot us. Probably not any of the predators are out in the desert, but yeah, I'd like to think if they're living out here, they're probably quite perceptive anyway. So they probably see us. Yeah, I think we're going to have to find shelter if it's getting dark. We don't want to be spending the night in the desert under the elements, do we? I was hoping that we'd come across them. Bloody stealthy bunch, these rangers, aren't they?
They did say it was about a day's travel. We've been travelling for a few hours.
This is fair, actually. That's a very fair point. Okay. I was just far too keen and impatient. Just like good old Rennas.
Okay.
Is there any like natural
So
shelter we
how
can
are
build,
you-
set the dome up in?
With that survival check, group survival check, yes, you can find two things. You can find, similar to what you encountered when you first met the Tippers out in the desert, you can find an inclination to a natural cave formation that gives you shelter from the exposing elements of the evening. You also find a cluster of dead trees that kind of felled into each other, creating something like a makeshift tree den, but it's all on the ground and kind of dead wood a little bit, but able to conceal you enough so that you wouldn't be seen at a distance if you were trying to hide, and also enough to, potentially get some sleep without fear of being found.
We reckon cave or trees. Do the trees look like they were felled man-madely into that shelter?
No, it looks like they just were so dead that they just collapsed underneath their own hollow weight.
Okie doke.
Like, Arrabella herself would be able to climb inside those trees, so...
I'm thinking the cave personally, but we will have to double check the cave before to make sure it's not full of, some dragon that's going to come out and eat us while we try and sleep.
Yeah, I feel like the cave would be easier, but yeah, check to make sure the depth doesn't go further than we think.
I mean, just stand in the mouth at like the cave entrance and just yell, and if nothing comes to eat us, it's probably safe.
But if they do come to eat you, then
We're fucked.
Then we'll be ready for it. I'll yell and then hide.
Let me put up the dome first.
Okay.
What do you yell?
Is this cave empty?
Are you sorry, Verity, are you saying you're going to put up a dome? Did you say?
Yeah, Liam's
Yeah.
tiny hut.
A magical dome that things can't get in.
Yeah, and nothing can see through it either, but we can see out, isn't it? So there's no need to go into a cave or under trees.
Well-
We could just pop anywhere, can't we?
I can only make it one colour. Oh, God damn it, Rennas, what did you do?
If it was empty, it doesn't look like it is. Are you friendly?
I'm a cave!
I didn't know caves could talk.
Silence.
Ah,
I'm
I
a
must
cave.
have imagined it.
Is this cave a mimic?
That's what I was thinking, but I'm not sure if mimics can talk.
Whoever's there, we're friendly. We have food.
I'm a cave! I don't need food!
What do caves
Unless you have
need?
water!
Ah, caves
You
need
know
water.
water?
Can I send Toby into the cave? He has dark vision. I'm going to see through his eyes and see what
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Oh God, what do owls have? Damn it! Hold on.
why isn't he a
Oh,
spider?
he I brought him back as an owl.
Oh, okay. I do not know how many spells Verity knows, but it seems to be more than me.
I took the ritual caster feat as well, so. Okay, so hearing and sight advantage on perception check. Perception +3. That's not what I wanted. Oh. Yeah.
Yay! Slightly better, yeah.
Toby looks around. Doesn't see anything. Like the cave itself goes back about 40 feet. There are plenty of like jettisoning out rocks, little small cracks into it. But beyond that, beyond just seeing that, he doesn't see anything else.
So I can see where things could be hiding, but I can't see if anything is hiding.
Yes.
I mean, we could try this tactic, and I'll call back. We have a little bit of water. How much do caves drink?
As much as you can give it!
How does a cave drink? Where would you like me to put the water?
Make a persuasion roll.
Rennas going to become best friends with the cave. Is that what's happening?
Alright!
That's what's happening.
Here's what you gotta do. You gotta walk inside, and eventually you might see something that's not very rocky. You give the flask of water to it, and it might have a hole with a little spongy thing called a tongue. And then that thing will drink for me.
Leave everything valuable in like a little pile, and I'm literally just going to be wearing my armor with my rapier and my shield on my back, and I'm going to have a flask of water.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be like, if I'm not back out in like 5 minutes, then, send a few fireballs in there.
Bring it out with you.
I mean, that's the goal, I say quietly. And I walk into the cave.
Okay. So, walking in, you don't see anything at first. Make a perception check, please.
$14.
You go on and on and on until eventually you can pretty much just see the back of the cave and you still haven't seen anything. And you're just like, am I going crazy? And you go to turn away. And looking on the outside of the cave, behind one of the jettisoning out rocks, you can see a creature that's crouched down, like 2 arms, 2 legs, very, very crazy, grey hair, wild kind of matted beard, like pale but like very sunburnt skin. You see what looks to be a very, very malnourished tiny human.
Ah, hello, Mr. Cave. You must be the fleshy part.
It sort of reaches up a bony hand with like overgrown fingernails, like outstretched towards your water bottle or water canteen.
And I pass it over. Don't drink it too quickly, you'll make yourself sick. Even caves can be sick. See, now you're wasting it.
He gives it back to you and it's completely empty.
Here. Thank you. Now get out of my mouth.
I mean, if you would like some more water, if the fleshy part can come to the front of the cave, then you can meet my friends and we can share some food and water and we can have a little chit chat and you can tell me what it's like to be a cave.
No funny business.
Absolutely not. I promise you,
I've
I'm
got
not
my
funny at all.
eyes on you. And I know a thing or two about weird things.
Well, then I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about.
He moves on all fours, like on his knees and like the palms of his hands. He sort of scrooches off, kind of like Gollum a little, really. And he follows you towards the entrance cave. And Verity and Arrabella, you just see this decrepit creature follow Rennas at a distance and slowly towards the mouth of the caves. And he sort of parks his bum down, like 5 feet before the cave. Well, very 5 feet before the cave entrance.
So I'm going to take. I mean, that's fine. There's shade in the cave, to be fair. Although I suppose it's getting dark now. So I take out the empty water bottle that is just emptied, and I'd pour like a little bit into that one, and I'm going to give him a little bit of water at a time now, rather than him downing an entire bottle. But how long have you been a cave?
Many moons, many suns, many dust storms. It's not safe out there.
Do you remember ever not being a cave?
Once. Long time ago.
And what were you then?
I was a warrior. Yes. I fought in a battle. Lots of scary monsters. Ran away and became a cave.
Sounds a bit safer. Have you protected many creatures since you've been in a cave?
No. Creatures scary. Creatures try to eat cave.
What about
The cave is rough.
us? You provided shelters to creatures like us?
Sometimes. Green cloaked ones.
Do you know
They
where these
give me-
green cloaked ones are?
They hunt bad monsters and creatures. Sometimes black spots appear in the land. Cave doesn't like black spots. Black spots make cave angry. And then green cloaks come. They do things and the black spot go away.
It's like Attack on Titan, isn't it? It's the scouting regiment, just send out the black spots of the Titans. You know where they come from to get rid of these black spots. We are looking to fight bad creatures as well. We hate
I'm a
bad
cave.
creatures.
I don't have eyes.
But you said
When
you'll
was
keep
the-
your eye on me. How can you keep your eye on me if you have no eyes?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. The hills have eyes, and that's how I see.
You must see so much.
Not as much as you think.
Do the
Ah,
cloaked people talk to you when they come here? The green cloaks?
yeah. They say, "How are you? Are you still alive? You want water?" Yeah, stuff like that.
Did they try and get you to go back with them?
Yeah. They say things. Come with us. It'll be better. But I'm a cave. Caves can't go anywhere.
So can I just do a quick insight to see if this is an active going on or anything?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know I'll have to be at disadvantage, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, Arri is
That'd be
just
quite
remembering the story
And I'm
that
Fail.
remembering the story that
I mean-
Otti told us.
Yeah.
This is a site of battle, after all. And this poor, pathetic creature could very well have been one of the frontier rangers way back when.
Yeah, that would be my guess. If
And
not one of the
That's
frontier
the
rangers, one of the
black
regiments that was up here.
Yeah, seeing the madness, he's now decided that it's safer being in a cave. Which it seems to be, he's still alive.
Verity, with that insight, This
Inside the
creature
cave.
is very much surface level. He cannot think beyond raw. What's the word I'm looking for? To be honest,
Basic survival instinct.
basic instinct, and even that basic instinct is heavily skewed. So it's not a case of you don't think this creature. You think this creature can lie, but his type of lying would be more a case of
I'm a cave.
I'm a cave. Deal with it because I want to be a cave. That makes any sense at all.
When was the
No,
last
I get
time
it.
you saw the green cloaks?
5 suns ago.
Wait.
Do you see them? Is there a pattern to how often you see them? How many suns in between each visit?
They visit twice a cycle of the moon.
Is that the same as it would be for us, so
Question,
28 days?
About twice a month they see him apparently.
How big are the black spots usually?
Some big, some small. But you give it time and they get bigger and bigger.
Okay. Guys, I think I might know how we can get the green cloaks to come to us.
Are you going to
If I do my
make a black spot
dome,
there?
yeah, like if I do my dome and just make the color of it black, it'll look like one of those black spots, and then they'll think it's demons. They'll come to stop it, and then we're like, surprise, not demons, just us. Help.
Could work.
That
They
kind of
potentially it's not the best way of meeting them, but it is potentially the fastest way of meeting them.
Hide! Get in the cave! Get in the cave! Get in me! Hide!
And he runs away back into the back of the cave.
Chicka wow wow.
I'll go into the mouth of the cave, but I'll try and like stealth against the edge of it, just to try and
Sure.
see what he's scared of. And
Well, you can feel it. There's a vibration in the ground.
oh, and then I'm gonna try and see if I can see it because I'm curious. Well, I'm like hiding behind the ledge.
Make a perception check, please.
I would have moved inside the cave up against the wall, but not
That
massively.
was a brilliant roll. Happy New Year, guys.
Why as a ranger do you have a +2?
Because I haven't got it as a skill.
He's not a good ranger.
Yeah, like I never said I was a good ranger. D&D Beyond made this character for me because this is my first ever campaign, and it made it terribly. Like I am, I've got a very high intelligence when there is literally, and charisma when there's zero need for me to have those too high.
Cool.
Okay.
Was it character man, sorry?
So beyond the vibrations of the ground, you do not see anything.
Cave. What is it? What's coming? Have you heard this before? Have you felt this before?
It's a bony one! Bony one come!
So it's anything from a skeleton on its own, which probably isn't very scary, or a giant. Do we get undead dragons? Are they a thing? I hope not.
Oh, we're kind of making one.
I do believe somebody's building you an undead dragon.
Yeah.
This is very true. Okay.
Wait, didn't we just have that dead dragon?
We had a dead white dragon that he's doing for us, and then we did have a dead green dragon that we
I
left.
forgot about that because I just know about the dead green dragon that we just left with the shotgun. I didn't think that was coming back to life anytime soon.
Yeah, no, we'd already hacked up a white dragon and sent that back to him.
Yeah. The green one's just the chew toy now.
We are terrible people.
She deserves it.
So,
Yes.
if you are stealthing up at the side of the wall near the mouth of the cave, can I get a stealth roll from you? If you're running to the back of the cave to hide, can I get a stealth at advantage, please?
I'm gonna run.
Or
to
if
the
you're going
back
out,
of the
or if you're going to go
regular-
out of the cave and not hide, please let me know.
I'll run to the back of the cave and just do a regular roll because disadvantage.
Okay.
Smile, tell me to stop being shit and let me click on the thing instead of scrolling past it. There we go.
Nice.
So you rush over to Verity, and you are pretty quiet. You
I have my new fancy cloak.
This man looks at you with like
Cave magic!
He waves his hands a little bit, and kind of spherical like energy just sort of emanates from him a little. You notice to be the sensation of pass without a trace.
Hey. I've seen that one before.
Cave magic!
So as
You're
you
the
sort of
most
crouch back
cave
down
I've
with
ever met.
him, Arri and Rennas, closer to the mouth of the cave. I mean, Arri, you're looking around, but you can't see anything. You both feel those vibrations, and you wait. And then, probably about 50 feet out of sight of the actual cave itself, where it's kind of like rock / sand, you see this tunnel, this tube go across. At a speed of maybe about 10, 15 feet, every 6 seconds or so. There's something definitely burrowing underneath. However, you guys are quiet enough that it has not noticed you, and will continue burrowing ahead until eventually you lose sight on it, and after a few minutes the vibration dies away. The old man creature stands up and goes,
Only one gone. Safe now.
Okay, well, if everyone else is happy for me to do it, I can set up a ritual stone in here.
Yeah, I think that's probably
I personally would like
best.
to not be at disadvantage anymore.
Yeah,
I get that.
it's not ideal that if they only come round every twice a month, that's like every 15 days, and he's seen them 5 days ago. So we're gonna have to go out looking for them tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. There we
We'll
go.
need our sleep.
Alright,
I'm going to spend 10 minutes doing the dome.
okay. Are you going to have a watch tonight?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
I will
have
definitely have a
first.
watch. If nothing else, because there's a weird cave person that could do anything to us.
Yeah.
Is he included in your spell, Verity?
No.
After he literally just cast Pass Without Trace on you to keep you safe, you're like, no.
No. He's sane enough to cast spells.
Yeah, but we're trying to get him on side
Cage
and
is
get
stuff.
some information out of him.
Well, whoever's keeping watch can keep him company outside.
You can make
And
him
I
a
will
se-
do.
You could make him a separate hut.
No, she
Nah,
can only do
yeah,
one
just
hut.
go rid of the
When I
first one.
can't leave it.
Eh.
You can only make them one at a time, and they only last 8 hours.
Okay, well, give him
I'm
a
going to
blanket
take
or
a
something
sleep.
at least.
Alright. So, who's
And we
taking
have
the
AC.
first watch?
I'll do first.
Okay. Can I get a
Control the
perception check
temperature
from you?
for-
Oh my
Oh,
god, my
Arri with the perception.
checks are terrible.
You're doing so well.
Ugh.
Ari, it's been a long ass day. And you're just a little too tired to be dealing with this shit right now to truly be on the ball. Are you inside or outside the dome?
I'll be outside because I'll be talking to. I'll be asking him what his name is if he knows. Like, does this cave has a name, sort of thing.
Big cave. No. Rocky cave. No. Surviving cave. Yeah.
You're the great survivor, then. It's cool. It's nice to meet you.
Why? Why do you come? Where do you come from? Not seen you before.
Sorry, just laughing that you have literally named him Surviving Cave.
That's,
Yeah, it makes sense. My town's burned down now, but I come from the south. Here looking for friends. Help me beat demons. Beat the nasty. Beat the black spots.
Nasty. Surviving Cave had a village once, a long time ago. Dreams. Used to live. Big place now. Bigger than cave. Bigger than cave is now. People. Demon. Nasties! Black nasties! Horrible nasties! Become. Everything go. Surviving Cave survive! Surviving Cave fight! Armies come! Big fights! Was lady. Big lady, pink hair, big drive, lots of armor. She saved me. She split Nasty in two. She looked at me and said, "You okay? You need rescuing?" I said, "No! Cave doesn't need rescuing! Cave is cave!" Surviving Cave fought with her. Little while. Big fight. People die. Surviving Cave. Get lost. Nasties follow. No big lady. No friends. Find cave. Cave. Never leave cave. Cave survive. Bad dreams!
What is Surviving Cave called before he becomes Cave in these bad dreams?
Cole.
Cole. Is this what the Rangers call you as well, when they visit?
No, they call me Crazy Old Man.
Crazy Old Man Cole Cave.
Surviving Cave better.
Yeah.
It's what I'm Cave, Surviving Cave.
Easier to say as well.
Never leave. Never leave Cave. Cave safe.
Caves can fall down though. Caves need support.
Never! Cave strong, alone! Big strong! Survive.
Let me know if you want to go anywhere where it's wide open and green and it's free of black spots.
Only green in cloak. No green left in the world.
No?
Nasty's sorted that. Cave stay. Cave survive.
Surviving cave gets up and walks away to the back of his cave and just curls up and goes to sleep on the floor.
Cool. Oh, shit, I haven't been paying attention. Ah, fuck.
And by the time you realise that, it's already time to wake up Rennas.
Go in, give him a little, like, shoulder shake. Found out his name's Cole. He wants to be called Surviving Cave, though. I think he's gone to sleep. I may have just pissed him off, though. I tend to piss people off, so... Anyway, I'm going to bed. Tired. Night.
I will also take watch out of the cave, but if he's asleep, I won't wake him up. I will just try and keep watch from a spot where I can see him.
For me, please.
14.
You hear various amounts of nighttime-based desert creatures, each equally unpleasant, but their sound carries in the wind. The only other thing of note you notice is that Surviving Cave is clearly having nightmares. You see him sweating a lot. You see him tossing and turning. You hear him moaning, and just like muttering away, no, 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 no. Stuff like that. But it doesn't seem to. It seems to continue to sleep regardless. But other than that, your shift is.
He's like,
Yeah, kind of. Beyond that, your shift comes and goes without any incident.
I leave a bit more water by him, so when he wakes up from his nightmares, he's got something to drink. And then I will wake up Verity.
Well, Verity is awake, I believe.
Ah, well, yes,
She
I will
never
not
has
wake
to
up
sleep.
Verity.
I don't sleep.
I'll walk inside
You
and say,
prowl.
hello.
So I can't leave the dome,
Yeah,
or else the dome will vanish. But I'll just take watch from inside the dome and send Toby out.
yeah, like
Alright.
either you'd be taking watch, or we'd know that and we'd have just split it in half, me and Arri. So either way, whichever way we do it.
Okay.
No, I'll send Toby out. He has advantage.
Cool.
Alright. Can I get a perception check for Toby, please?
Yeah. Oh, not good. Oh wait, he has advantage.
Yep.
Hey!
Alright. How wide of a perimeter do you want Toby to fly?
I think I can only send him like 60 feet.
Alright. So pretty much to the entrance of the cave and just beyond, really.
Yeah. Like, I'm just double checking the
Throughout the rest of the evening, through Toby's eyes, you can see in the distance almost moving mountains. Mountains is the wrong word, but like large rocky hills seem to sway
100
and
feet.
move. That's good. Yeah, so you can definitely see these large spinal mountains move back and forth, really, almost swaying. There is loud crunching noises to be heard that echoes throughout the night wind. Almost as if the land itself is trying to break apart. And ultimately, you just get the willies, the heebie-jeebies. This land is it's sick. It's not just dead. It's diseased. It's like a diseased corpse. It just doesn't feel right.
I really wish we had Bella, who's a druid, here right now. Do some.
However, beyond that, your shift comes to an end, and you have all completed your long rest. Now, please bear with me. Okay, so Arri, Rennas, you wake up to find Verity watching, like always.
Well, my eyes are kind of clouded over because I'm looking through Toby, but like...
Yeah.
Wonderfully horrifying sight until I realise what's going on. Just my sister with cloudy eyes.
Yeah. The sun rises quickly here. It only takes about 20-25 minutes for it to be proper light. The dome ends. I assume you partake in your rations. I don't think you guys have much water left.
Yeah, I was possibly a bit more generous with it, and we didn't make a point of bringing shitloads out with us, which we possibly should have done.
You are in a desert. I feel like maybe giving it all to surviving cave was a bit of a misjudgment. But, I'm not here, so, ignore that.
I have a flask thingy that's never
he does
ending.
have a flask thingy, yes. Yes. So, we are not
I
short
was
of water.
about to say, someone's got it because it's not in the bag of holding.
Person in the desert actually has the thing designed to survive in the desert. It's a miracle. We did something right.
It's great.
It may have been by accident, but we did something right.
And I still have my moonshine.
Indeed.
That won't help with the sun. And you're still underage. Or are you at the moment? I don't know. I can never keep track.
Like, technically I'm 18, but I aged back 1 year because of my magic, so...
So you're underage?
The surviving cave is already awake. And, it looks like he's, seems to be eating desert shrew that he caught raw. Like, you can see bits of trickle of blood, and it looks fucking barbaric in nature. It's just chewing it.
Would cave like a fire? It tastes nicer cooked.
Cave try fire once. Cave cough. Smoke don't go anywhere. So no more fire in cave.
Okay.
Surviving cave is still alive after spending night with strangers. So thank you.
I apologise that we're strangers. My name is Rennas. I did not mean to leave here with a stranger with you, you fantastic surviving cave.
Listen. You nice. You speak with surviving cave as if he's making a person again. Nice. You're very nice. You look for green cloaks, yes?
Yes.
That way. Half day, maybe.
That's very kind of you.
They come from over there, over the range. They hunt big monster. You find big monster, you find green cloak.
We are good at finding big monsters.
Not the big monster that went past us yesterday.
That's one. Bony one.
They're not looking for Bony one?
They fight Bony one. Bony one. Cause of bad juju. Like bad juju happened, Bony one comes.
Is there fleshy one as well then that they fight?
I not seen fleshy one. I only ever see bony ones. I've seen sometimes they move one, sometimes they move in two.
Okay.
Can I do like a nature check just to see if I can think of a creature that was around here during the war?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Rolling creature.
Go right ahead. To be fair, they could be nature or history, your choice.
I'll go nature because I've got a bit better.
All right. With what moved past you yesterday and what he's describing, and remembering some of the tales of the old battles, you suspect what he might be talking about is possibly an undead creature. Serpentine-like creatures that have since been reanimated. A bone nugger.
Nice.
I would like to say to Surviving Cave, you thanked me for talking to you like a person again. Would you like to be a person again one day?
No, Surviving Cave is a surviving cave. Cave, stay here. Cave,
Surviving Cave could be a surviving person.
People die.
Okay.
Cave don't die.
Well,
Cave is cave. Cave be here long time.
People live on long after they perish. We still know the
Cave
story.
never perish.
Caves can crumble. I said this yesterday.
Blasphemy.
People live on. We still all know the story of the Rangers of the Frontier, the battle that happened here. We remember them. We remember the people. They will never die. Thank you for telling us where the green cloaks are. If we can, we'll try and see you on our way back.
He looks at you, Arri, and just says,
People say, remember. Many dead. No one remembers dead. I remember dead.
especially we remember what they died for, the freedom they died for, and the life they gave to others with their sacrifice.
And the dead you remember live on through you. The surviving cave.
You speak on like green cloaks. Say one war, say world fine. Look out there. World not fine, world dead. Lost war. Doesn't matter if big nasty debt gone. World still dead. Cave stay here. Cave survive.
The world is still alive in some places, and I'll just do a bit of druid craft in my hand. I will always remember you, surviving cave. As Cole, crazy old man, and surviving cave. May our paths cross again.
Cave stay
You
here.
won't hear about the people you remember. Let's go.
It would have been nice to hear about them, you're right. I imagine he met some wonderful people. Very, very interesting stories. He could tell us all about them, but we do have to get going. Gotta go see those green cloaks.
Like the big lady with pink hair that you failed to ask about.
Yeah, like I just assumed that was, yeah.
Well, yeah, so I'd have expected more conversation on that. But okay, but he was asleep when I came out for watch, so.
Like big lady with pink hair, it's gotta be Melody, surely.
Yes.
That's just instantly who would have gone to in my head,
No,
so.
it was Grace in the time of the wars.
Grace didn't have pink hair, did she?
yes, she did.
Oh,
Grace has
bugger.
pink
Then
hair.
I would have asked about it. I thought she was blonde. Clearly, I did not pay attention to my grandmother when she was talking to me.
That's why I was like, oh my god, imagine if this guy was our granddad. How weird would that be? Lol.
I thought you were just saying it because he was a small human who's a bit mad, and
Yeah.
we are small
Dang, it's
humans
because he had a
that are mad.
fight and then some kind of kinship with her.
Maybe
We got onto this, by the way. We clicked on ages ago. We're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. They're going to get...
when you're married to ask something about it.
I didn't even click. Okay, at
Too
that
late
point,
now,
I'll just turn around and be like, oh, by the way, the big lady with pink hair? I'm pretty certain that may have been my grandmother. I know, looking at me, it's probably hard to believe, and as I am a little girl with orange
Do
hair.
I hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, then hold on a second.
I'm realizing that Georgia has like the exact same color hair as like Arri's profile in the
Yeah.
Arri's icon in the
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna use. I don't have disguise self. I have alter self, so I can make myself look like another human. So I'm just gonna be like, who? Grace, and then I'm gonna turn around and make myself look like her.
Surviving K's eyes go extremely wide.
That's it. Let's make sure I don't summon a Garistro in here.
Oh no.
That would possibly lower his trust in us somewhat.
A little bit. It's rolling. I feel like I don't like this
Dying
one.
cave.
You said it was rolling the dice, but nothing. Okay, 19. No, we're good.
Oh, good. Okay. His eyes goes extremely wide, and he mumbles like it's like he's not. He stammers for words.
So,
Do you remember her? Is this the person you met?
Commander. I survived, as you ordered.
are you surviving now? I mean, you're a cave.
My whole platoon was wiped out, Commander. I survived. I hid in a cave and I survived.
Did she tell you to survive? Did she tell you to stay safe?
The demons were coming. You said you'd hold them off. You went into battle alone and we retreated, but one of the flying ones got past you, tore us apart. I thought you died.
She did not die that day.
You didn't look for me?
I'm going to, get rid of the auto self and just say, okay, I feel like we've dug up some unnecessary trauma here.
Says my therapist every time. No.
This was not the person you met all those years ago, but it is. They are related to her.
Grace did not die on that day, but unfortunately she has passed. Like I said to you earlier, she lives on through us, through our memories, through one very strange visit after I died, but we won't go into that. She'd want you to live. That war is over. She'd want you to go with the Green Cloaks. Come with us. Come with the descendants of Grace.
Make a persuasion roll.
Ah, shit.
Here we go.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's not bad.
Oh. Surviving cave. Think about it.
Promise you we will keep you safe out there.
"30 cycles. I haven't left this cave in 30 cycles. I'll think about it. Goodbye."
He walks back towards the back of the cave.
Look after yourself, Cole. We will be back again soon to see you.
I
He
feel
does
like
not-
if
he doesn't
Korgrin is
answer.
here, he would be scolding me right now.
He's lost in thought and memory. Do you guys continue on with your journey?
Yep, I guess we'll go in the direction he pointed and start making our way.
Yep.
All right. Okay, can I get 2 constitution? Actually, no. I'm going. Oh, you already rolled your constitution checks, so this is basically just for the next 2 cycles of the day. Okay, so. Right, Arri, as the sun reaches its highest, you will take a point of exhaustion.
Well,
Wait.
I'm so glad you slept in that hut and got rid of that point of exhaustion, Verity.
Yeah, I was going to say, if this is from the last 2 checks, then it won't have been done at disadvantage, right?
Yeah. So, but you still passed. You got
You rolled 20 on all of
10
them,
or below.
like...
So.
Okay.
With the directions given from Surviving Cave, you guys walk for many hours across the ever-increasing desert, a wide expanse of a dead land. Way off into the distance, when you have a good view of the immediate area, like you can see long stretches of desert with more of those burrowing like things, like making their way across the desert. You can probably see about a dozen or so, but they're spaced out, one here, one there. Like, imagine if you're just looking down an area that spans several square miles. You can just see bits and pieces here and there that you can just notice that is more of those burrowing sorts of things.
But nothing popping out of them.
Nothing. No, staying underground at the moment. However, you guys continue on your path, or in your general direction, heading a general westwards. You pass by 2 completely destroyed villages, and probably by the mid-afternoon, you're in more of a rocky area with, I wouldn't say a path, but a natural way to move around it. You do come across a man and a camel. Seems to be moving in the opposite direction from you guys, and you just kind of just meet him on the road. And he does call out, he goes, "Oh, hello there! I have not seen people around here before, not like you. Yeah. Do you need anything? I am traveling salesman."
I mean, we were hoping to find a group of people in green cloaks. Have you seen anyone like that in the area?
Well, I might have for 25 gold.
So I'm going to reach into my gold pouch, but as I do so, just like brushing my jacket aside and showing the large array of knives I have, like strapped to.
Make an intimidation check. Make an intimidation check.
20.
As you show it to him, he just goes, "On second thought, karma is a very, very repayable thing.
Indeed it is.
If I help you today, maybe somebody will help me out in the future." Yes, go green cloaks, rangers, yes?
Yes, that's who we're looking for.
They move around this entire area. Last one I saw was 2 days ago. They're hard to find sometimes. They know how to hide. I think they have a camp, probably at the bottom of this ridge, maybe a little bit more to the north.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Can I incite him, please, to see if
Same.
he's telling the truth or screwing us over?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yay, disadvantage.
Ooh. I don't think that would have done much.
You get no
And
reason.
I'm going to use my luck to remove that. I
Okay.
really don't want to get screwed over. Come on.
You don't detect any falseness from him.
I just say thank you anyway, and I will pass over 10 gold as thanks.
Oi! It's a good day, Sasha! And he
The
strokes
cooperation
the
is always better than extortion, isn't it, my friend?
I have no idea what you mean, and I do not appreciate insinuation. Come, Sasha, let us go. And he continues on his path.
I was going to
Wait,
ask
do you
what
have any
wares you
magical
had.
items?
I might have, for 25 gold.
Are we going to do this dance again?
Business transaction with you gone and done, my friend. I am now speaking to a lovely young lady with blue skin.
Okay.
She's a lot scarier than I am,
Okay.
trust me.
And as he says that, Toby flying ahead is going to poop on his shoulder.
Oi! That's imported silk from Ascaria. Oi!
The chances of
I would
that
be
in
ashamed
the
if
middle
it
of a
was to burn.
desert. Oh,
Hold right a second. Let me get a crossbow. I see dinner. And he's going inside the camel's satchel and he actually pulls out a small hand crossbow. He starts aiming it at Toby flying overhead.
And I make Toby disappear.
Oi!
I'm very lucky.
Oi! Hey! Here! Have a good day! Weird people in middle of desert with disappearing bird and no Sasha.
what race was this guy? Was this camel?
He was human.
Okay.
What race was the camel? Oh no,
It was a
sorry.
camel.
His camel.
What race was a camel?
I should have done
believe
Speak
it.
with Animals with him. Oh well.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my
so,
god, you could have got a mundane camel in exchange for a magical owl.
And then bamf the magical owl out of
Continuing-
existence.
Continuing on your path, can I get a group perception check, please?
Oh shit, it's disadvantage in it. Sorry. I'm willing to bet it'll be. Yeah, everyone's got disadvantage. Everyone's got exhaustion.
I'm the only one
Everyone
with
has
exhaustion now,
exhaustion.
aren't I?
Oh, I thought everyone had
Yeah.
it.
I think it's just
No,
me.
no, not yet.
Oh,
I
sorry.
rested,
I
so I'm
apologize.
good.
No,
Yeah, no, I thought we
still
both got it from the.
This
Oh,
is
sorry.
this is the middle part of the day.
Ah, we did well at this part.
All right. Arri and Verity, fuck me, it's hot. It's so bright as well. Oh, I can't see a damn thing. Rennas, you clock something in the sky, many, many miles away. Whatever it is, it's fast. Maybe a little big. It's flying eastwards.
Big flying thing over there. I don't know if it's friend or foe or whether it's related to these ranges at all. But I feel we should probably try and keep an eye on it. And I'll try and point it out to them so they can at least see what I'm referring to.
It's so bright. It's hard for them to see.
Okay, well, it's there somewhere. That's what my elf eyes see.
Beyond that, you do not see anything else of note on your way down. And you continue searching the area again. And once you get to the baseline, following the directions from the camel merchant, soon the afternoon is moving into evening, and you've gone through pretty much all of your water reserves, and now you're just relying on the water from the endless decanter.
Is this one of those misleadingly named things that's not actually endless? Is there a limit to how much water this thing can give us?
I'm not sure.
You know the endless decanter. You know you're in trouble when the endless decanter runs
There
out.
is a limit. It's a certain amount, but it's a stupid amount of water.
Yeah, stupid amount of liters.
Exactly. Endless.
I
See
think
bullet point one.
Milk was one of them. Milk.
Milk?
Yeah, it can do water, milk, or beer, I think.
Ooh.
Or possibly wine. It was definitely one kind of alcohol, but alcohol was the lowest amount it could do.
Who wants endless milk? That's horrible.
I mean, if you eat enough of those chilies, possibly. Verity.
Oh yeah, you have the alchemy jug.
Yes.
So yeah, you can produce 8 gallons of fresh water.
That seems like enough to get a few people through a desert.
Yeah, especially smaller people. Yeah.
Their
However,
little legs.
Rennas, you'll be taking a point of exhaustion, and Arri, you'll be taking your second point of exhaustion.
Ooh, that's not
what
good.
happens at 2? Is it attack roll?
Nothing good.
I got an 8 and a 10, so I have no idea what happens at 2. It's gonna be bad.
Hold on. At second point of exhaustion, your speed is halved.
Oh. Aren't you already at like 20?
No, I'm on 30, so I'm on 15 now.
It's just dwarves that are slow then. Sorry,
Halflings are slow, but I've got a feat that makes me faster.
Yeah.
And we're not
You
slow,
have
we're just
two.
Feet
little.
makes them faster. I have feet that make me faster too.
Little, okay?
As you guys move around this time, and the afternoon is turning into the evening, you come into a more like rocky, like plateauish like area, like plenty of plateaus everywhere. And you feel like you can see something off in the distance, like smoke or something like that. Like a small column of smoke. It's not a steady stream. It's not a steady stream. It's like puffs on occasion. Kind of like those the old Native American way of like smoke signals and stuff like that. Yeah.
I scan like the whole area 360 degrees. Do I see any other smoke anywhere?
Make a perception check.
14. They've got to be communicating with someone, surely.
You do not see more smoke. However, you do see one of those burrowing things coming in your direction.
Is there like a handy rock or something we could jump on just to get off ground level?
Yeah, easily done enough.
Yeah, so I grab the other two, I
onto
like
it, get
point it out
off
and
the
just
sands.
jump up. And then like stay really, really still as it went past.
Okay.
Me
So
and
it does
Arri
go
are on the
past.
broom. I said when she was looking beside me that I stuck her on there.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right. So as you are, as Arri and Verity are on the broom and Rennas, you're on the rock, you see this burrowing thing coming very dangerously close to that rock, but it keeps on going on the way. And then you hear this noise.
They have machine guns here.
No, Rennas, you turn around, and just on the other side of your rock, walking into the sands itself, appears to be a mountain goat. As soon as it takes its steps onto the sands, this burrowing thing immediately shifts, and it no longer has a burrowing tube. Like, it just stops, it shifts and stops. The goat continues walking forward.
I'm going to shoot the goat in the head.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Well,
Make an
I
attack
think it's
roll.
about to suffer a much worse death, so I'm actually doing it a kindness. Is kind of how I feel. I'm
I
not
could be
disappointed.
scared of goats.
It's possible. 31 to
That's a hit. That's a hit. Roll damage.
am I hidden from the goat?
No, but it wasn't expected to be shot, so you could snake attack it.
I mean, you know. Where's my sneak attack?
Billy.
Well, it's clicked, it's ticked, it should be.
I guess you could say
okay.
that's gruff.
Boo.
That's
Thank you.
43 points of damage to this goat.
Okay, so you kill the coat 10 times.
It had
And I'm
4
hoping the
hit
burrowing
points.
thing doesn't notice as it eats it anyway.
The arrow goes straight for the head of the goat, and it immediately just collapses down to the ground. About 2 seconds later, the ground around the body of the goat erupts, and you see this huge bone-like snake burst forth from the sands and just consume it to the point where it just shreds it apart. Doesn't apparently need to eat it, it just wants to shred it apart.
You see, I put it out of its misery. I say very quietly from crouching down on this rock.
It stops there.
Oh.
And begins sort of looking around. Rennas, what's your surface thoughts right now?
I really hope that thing doesn't notice me. I really hope that thing doesn't notice me. I really hope that thing doesn't notice me.
the skeletal-like head does shift towards you. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
You know I can't. Are they disadvantaged from exhaustion or not? Saving throws.
No,
point.
just checks. Just checks at the moment.
Okie doke. So
Oh, fucking Jesus.
it doesn't matter what my plus is. I always roll so badly on a wisdom save. Like I can have a plus 10, I'd still fail. I went from a -1 to a +4, and I've still got fucking like nothing.
Rennas spontaneously dies because of seeing a snake.
That would be the first time.
Okay, so it stares at you for a few moments, and then you hear this echoey-like voice call out.
Child of Lorandia, I know what I can do with your blood.
And it arcs upwards and goes down towards you to try and bite at you. It has massive amounts of reach. What are you going to do?
Dive the fuck off this rock and start sprinting.
All right, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
See, where was
Right,
the
so you-
15? For the wisdom
You side flip away as the creature just goes straight past you. Vroom, it immediately curls around and starts slithering after you. You can hear it call out,
Run as fast as you can. I know what you are.
You know that this creature has probed into your mind at this point, probably akin to something like detect thoughts, which is probably how it found you.
Yeah.
Rennas?
From Arri and Verity's perspective, this bone creature is sliding across the sand, chasing after Rennas, and you can see lightning crackling up around its mouth, its eye socket. It looks like it's innately going to cast a spell towards Rennas. What are you two going to do?
Fight or escape?
What?
What?
We don't have fire escapes. We're not in a building.
What is that?
Fight or escape?
I was
Oh,
about to say, Ari's going to like tug on your shoulder and be like, "Are you able to cast teleport in seconds?" And be able to go grab him and go.
No.
Right. So as you're saying this,
I
a
can turn him
lightning
into a
bolt
bird.
shoots out from the bone naga. Rennas, can you make another dexterity saving throw, please?
22.
All right, so you succeed. You will take no damage as this lightning bolt just you sidestep to you basically duck to the side as this lightning bolt just destroys this rock ahead of you, and it just
Okay.
goes. It keeps on slithering after you.
But
I am getting within range of Rennas. I am going to polymorph him into a giant owl, which has a speed of 60 feet around, so he can go 120. So I'm going to get within 120 feet of him because I have Stealth Sniper. Polymorph him into a giant owl.
Yep.
And I will go straight up.
and
I'm imagining I've got wings.
We are just away from the ground, and with Arri on my broom as well, we're just yeeting. We're yeeting out of there.
Okie
Hopefully I
dokie.
drop a barista on this.
All right,
mistake.
make one final dexterity saving throw as an owl, please, as it like arches up to try and snap at you as small as you are.
Me.
Giant owl. So, one sec, I have this stat somewhere.
Oh, I've got it here.
Okay.
Or I would have if my page didn't take hours to load. +2, and it doesn't.
Can I get a
take-
D100 from
so
you,
it's-
please, Verity?
Fuck!
Your bistro!
oh. Fine, just leave it in a
Drop a
dead look.
barista on it.
92 is the Garistro, just remember.
Still a 20 from the owl. Legend.
60. One, two, three, four.
This doesn't
What?
sound good.
Is it a start of a riddle?
Hold on. I just need to.
No.
Oh no! 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, Arrabella.
No.
What are you gonna do to me?
Turn you into Garistra.
As Rennas turns into a giant owl and begins flying away, he avoids the snap of the bone nagger biting at him, and as you prepare, to make your own action, you just feel a little weird, feel a little dribbly.
No.
You look at your hands, and they melt away, and the next thing you know, your body just bursts into water and just falls down into sand and gets absorbed.
I turned her into a puddle.
And that puddle is quickly being absorbed by the sand.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to go and scoop her up.
Okay.
Fuck up! Oh, keep the bone nagger distracted.
Priorities.
Okay, another thing happens as well. As this bone nagger reaches up to grab you, you hear the snapping of strings. Ting, 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 and all of a sudden, huge scythe-like blades burst out of the sand and shish kebab the bone nagger. It immediately falls down and just is destroyed completely.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. So I am like pouring out the moonshine I have, and I'm quickly scooping up as much of the Arri wet sand into the jar as I can.
Make a dexterity check to see
You
how
can
much.
guidance yourself.
to see what percentage of Arri we'll have left.
Yeah.
Oh, this is bad.
Myself.
Yeah,
And
it's
don't tell me
bad.
the results because I might use my luck.
Right, okay.
Well, fuck this. I am so sorry, Meg. Oh my god.
It's fine. I imagine Arri is feeling a lot better as a puddle than she did with 2 points of exhaustion. So
No. Actually, how does Arri feel being a puddle?
I imagine Arri doesn't feel anything being a puddle.
You can
She is
still
a
actually
puddle
sense
right now.
emotion. You can actually still have emotions as a puddle.
Oh, this sand is nice and warm. Oh,
Okay,
bet she's
so
still
as
grouchy.
you scoop it,
She's still a grouchy puddle.
oi!
as you scoop it up
Ellie,
into a
that's me.
vial. Verity, as you scoop it up into the vial, there's a lot of sand in the vial. You think you got as much air as you can, and the vial just turns a calming green.
I am so sorry. I turned my sister into a puddle. How am I supposed? Did all her items turn into a puddle as well?
Yes.
She has the sending stone. How am I going to let them know? Oh fuck. And Rennas is still an owl right now, and now I'm just surrounded by people with a bunch of swords, a dead Naga, and my sister in a jar.
No. There's only one person there that you can see that has now sort of revealed themselves. They are hooded. They have a longbow and an assortment of ranger-based equipment. And this person just looks at you and just goes, "Who are you?"
I am very distressed right now.
Um.
My sister is a puddle.
Oh.
Sand in a puddle. I had to get rid of my moonshine for it. And my friend is an owl. And the bone naga was gonna eat us. And now this.
It's okay.
And I'm
It's okay.
blue.
It's okay. Come with
Do you
me.
have any right to say that?
Come with me. I'll take you to my camp. We've got lots of water there. I think you've just been out in the desert a little too long.
Water.
Okay. And she comes over to you and she like awkwardly puts an arm around you and just starts gently leading you off in the direction she came from. With the giant owl, I assume, flying overhead.
Flying along, going, "Hoo, hoo." Is she wearing any green at all?
Yes, she is.
Yay!
And that's where we'll end tonight's session, guys.